Should I do like I did before? Look, I can't see.
Bridget Jones' Diary, the movie. Absolutely terrible movie. Totally American humor set in a British scene. Very strange. Completely unrealistic portrayals of British life. Is it though?
By Louis Sachar. This book just about is the worst book in the world. The worst.
Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Took me over 2 months to read this. I suffer from insomnia, and one of the tactics I use to help me fall back asleep is to read an extremely boring book. Suffice it to say, I had not intended for this book to be my insomnia selection. However, about 25% of the way, it became that. How? It's so flowy. How?
Contemporary Celtic Crochet by Bonnie Barker. The sweater on the front of the magazine isn't included in the patterns. Yeah, it is. It's on page 78.
To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. To sleep in a sea of stars, more accurately, to sleep through the book. This was nothing like I had been expecting. It didn't hold my attention and very much felt like a plot that is seen throughout the genre, but without any aspect of originality. I know this is an unpopular opinion, because it's wrong. But this nearly drove me to tears. I'm pretty sure I cried, but for a different reason.
The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. As I'm not a fantasy person, this was a struggle, and halfway through I remember that no one was forcing me to read it, so I put it quietly back on the shelf.
No one was forced.
I have a few problems here. 1, you're not a fantasy person, why did you pick up The Hobbit? 2, it was a struggle. This is actually a really good book, so you're wrong. And you said you put it quietly back on the shelf, and yet you ran online to put a 1-star review.
Fantastic Mr. Fox, the movie. Made me uncomfortable in a creepy way. Didn't even get a third of the way through. Weird in a bad way. Yuck. Okay, well, I'm taking that one personally.
Bridge to Terabithia by Catherine Patterson and Donna Diamond. This book is so sad. Yes, it is. Why would anybody want to read it? I cried when What's-Her-Face died, which isn't normal for me. I never cry, except when What's-Her-Face died. So sad. Sad face. It is sad. But that's not a good reason to make a bad review.
Alien movie. Why is Indiana Jones on a spaceship? That's Spaceballs. I'm pretty sure that's Spaceballs. He dances. It's pretty funny.
Got footage.
Yeah, totally. No, you should.
1-star reviews of these classic books, or just in general, books in general. That makes sense, right? Those are words. I think this is going to be a great intro to how just this library is just going to shine. As we look for the future. Are we on?
The Earthsea Trilogy by Ursula K. Le Guin. This book could be a case study in how not to write a fantasy novel. Start with poorly drawn characters the reader will feel indifferent about. Add a world that isn't very interesting. Complete it by having the characters do next to nothing of significance. Then when the climactic battle comes, the reader has nothing invested in the outcome. Didn't read the same book.
Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. I hate this book. I got it 3 years ago, but never got around to reading it because it seemed so boring. But since everyone loves it so much, I decided to read it. This was awful. The whole book could have been 250 pages shorter if the author had removed the stupid history references, which are of no use, and if he had just written, they walked till they reached so-and-so place, the characters kept walking and camping for 95% of the book. Mad face. Walk, 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 walk. Eat, sleep. Walk, 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 walk. Battle. Then walk, 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 walk. Awful. Hated it. Well, you hate stories because the whole point of fantasy is world building. The adventure.